Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to NACHW's 5-year anniversary. A 5-year anniversary, our founders came together to found the National Association of Community Health Workers, and we wanted to take some time today to really acknowledge all the great work that has been done by CHWs across the country that have uplifted NACHW as an organization. I hope everyone didn't mind taking a few minutes to let folks get on the call and listen to some music. But now we will get started. Here is just a brief level set. Just so you know, the meeting is being recorded, but folks can stay off camera if you would like. We do have the Q&A function enabled for this webinar. So if you have questions, we'll have a couple different breaks after different speakers to have folks answer questions. So feel free as the webinar goes to put the questions in the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. Do please keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. And we do have a raise hand function also on the bottom of the screen on Zoom that you can use if you would like to ask your question live. We will be sharing out these slides and all the links that we're going to be sharing today after the webinar with everyone who's registered. So thank you all again for coming. Before I start handing it over to our speakers, I'd like to give a very brief level set for anyone who might be new to NACHW. We are the National Association of Community Health Workers. We were founded in April 2019 after just decades of planning by community health workers and allies across the state. And we have a common vision to see community health workers united nationally to support community in achieving health equity and social justice. And here on the screen, you will see some key ways that NACHW seeks to accomplish this vision through amplifying the unique identities, qualities, competencies, and expertise of CHWs, articulating the past, present, and future of CHWs, allying with different organizations and individuals that support CHW leadership and self-determination, advancing innovations in CHW research and workforce development, advocating for sustainability and equity within the profession. And lastly, for NACHW to activate CHWs across the country and bring folks together as there is power in numbers to help achieve some of these goals. The last thing I'll mention is we do have an updated membership map. NACHW is first and foremost a membership organization. As folks can see in the chat, as folks are introducing themselves, we do have members across the country. We have a growing membership. For those of you who are members, we thank you for your membership. Your leadership and guidance is what helps NACHW do what we do. So we appreciate it. And now to start us off on this sort of celebration of the journey of 5 years, we wanted to hear from some of our current board members and founders about NACHW. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our board president, Lillie Fox, who is a CHW from South Carolina, to speak for you a few minutes today and welcome you to our event. Take it away, Lillie.
Good afternoon, and thank you all, my fellow community health workers, CHRs, promoters, and all of the frontline workers across the nation. I would like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. On behalf of the board of directors, I want to say welcome, and I see some of them have joined as well. This is an exciting moment for NACHW. We have come a long ways, but we have yet a ways to go. And I'm sure by the numbers that have been popping up on the screen, some of you, all of you feel the same, and you're willing to put your shoulders to the wheel and help us get across the finish line. We are working diligently and to make community health workers a well-known profession. One thing I can say is people know who we are. They know we are alive and well. They know we are on the ground. So, and our intentions are to make sure that everybody get the voices to the table. Be if you're an ambassador in your community or from your state, whatever role that you play, we are sure and we feel assured that you will make sure that the voices in your state is at the table and can be heard across the nation. The one thing I know, one of the things that we all have in common is we have a compassion for the community health worker profession. Two, we all have the same problems, regardless of who you talk to, where they're from, it's the same problem. But the good thing about it is we all have our creative ways of accomplishing the goal. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar today. And don't forget, well, I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself, but make sure you do the survey so we can know, how you felt about it, what you think we can change to make it better for the next time and for the next 5 years, what all we can do and how committed each and every one of us are. Okay, thank you so much and enjoy the webinar.
Thank you so much, Lillie, and thank you for giving an early plug to our evaluation survey. That link will be shared at the end of the webinar. Now I would like to introduce a couple of our founding board members who are going to talk about a couple of different topics. Geoff Wilkinson and Gail Hirsch are both CHW allies from Massachusetts. And Julie Smithwick is one of our founding board members from South Carolina, who is a CHW today. They are here today to help share some resources and some videos around two different topics. The beginning one is around one of our founding board members, Naomi Cottoms, was recently passed away. And I'm gonna call on Nina if you're able to, actually, sorry, my apologies. I'm first gonna hand it over to Geoff Wilkinson to say a few words and introduce the video. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Aurora. Thank you, Lillie, and welcome everybody. I'm Geoff Wilkinson, one of the founding members of NACHW, founding board member. I served as treasurer for 6 years and worked very closely with Naomi Cottoms, who passed just in the beginning of March. She was a beloved founder of this organization. She had a very strong vision for the national CHW movement. She was a founder of the Arkansas CHW Association. She served on our executive board. She chaired the nominating committee. It's impossible to describe her import and her impact, and we miss her dearly. Several of us here were able to attend her memorial service in Little Rock, Arkansas, just a few weeks ago. So we have a video tribute that several board members contributed to. I was out of the country when this was made, but I'm in the video in spirit, and her spirit infuses this organization. I think it always will. She was just a tremendous person and absolutely devoted to this cause. So Naomi Cottoms presente, and we love you, Naomi. Let's roll that video. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoff. And I'm going to have my colleague Nina help us play the beginning clip of the video, and we'll also share the link for folks to watch the full thing a little bit later. Thank you so much, Nina. Oh, Nina, you might have to reshare your screen with sound.
Just Naomi's business, making everybody feel special, and so she's left me many gifts, and she's left gifts to CHWs who don't even know she's left a gift yet, which is really cool.
Thank you so much, Nina. So as you can see, that video is 30 minutes long and really includes some great stories, memorialization from our founders. We're going to drop that link in the chat as well as send that out after for folks to watch. And now I would like to bring on two of our other founders to introduce a little bit of our founders' history of NACHW. Gail Hirsch and Julie Smithwick, who are both founding members of NACHW. Feel free to take it away and talk a little bit about the video we have to share here today.
Hi, so I'm Gail Hirsch, and I am also a founding board member of NACHW. And some of you may remember seeing in the clip from Naomi's video, there was this massive candle lighting. Naomi led the way for launching this organization, and she carried the torch at the head of 900 people to found our association. So since it's our 5th anniversary, we thought it was fitting to share some highlights of our long history, which is much longer than these 5 years. And people have expressed an interest in knowing more about how we got started. So we've put together a video, and some of our founders gathered to reflect on our history and share some of the highlights with you. And turning it over to my colleague and friend, Julie Smithwick.
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Julie Smithwick, a CHW from South Carolina and one of the founding board members as well with Gail and Geoff. And I think I see a couple of our other co-founders. I saw Ashley Winterstrom and Catherine Haywood. And I tried to scroll through all the names. I don't know if there are other co-founders on, but we are, yes, Ashley, we are just so excited that to celebrate this milestone with you guys, because NACHW is 5, but the amount of years that went into preparing the way for NACHW is probably quadruple that, if not more. And as founding board members, we started meeting in 2012. Anyway, we started meeting for a really long time. And every 2 weeks we would meet for 2 hours to thank you, Ashley, 2014, to plan for this organization. And the culmination, which is that candlelight ceremony you saw a little picture of, was just so exciting. And it's amazing to see how much the organization has grown and has accomplished in 5 years. So excited for the current board and all you guys are doing, for the amazing staff, all the programs. It's just so wonderful to have a voice and such an impressive presence for our workforce that we didn't have for so long, and which is so needed. So as Gail mentioned, we put together just little clips of our history, and they're going to drop the link in the chat because we don't have time to see it today. But I really encourage you guys to look at it. It's not professional. It's not like fancy. It's just us gathered on a Zoom meeting reflecting. But the thing I think that really will come through for you is the intentionality that we all put in, and that so many CHWs and allies put into forming this organization, really centered in the values and the commitment to our profession. So just really encourage you guys, when you have a little bit of time, watch it, and then feel free to reach out to NACHW, to us, and let us know what your thoughts are and how you want to make sure that that intentionality continues to live on in NACHW. So again, Nina will drop that. Oh, she already did drop that link. So watch it when you get a chance, and love to have your feedback. Congratulations, NACHW.
Thank you so much to Julie and Gail for that primer of the video. Thank you to Nina for putting that in the chat. And as a reminder, all these slides and links are also going to be emailed out to you after the webinar. So if you're not capturing them, no worries. We know we've already covered a lot so far, and we do want to give folks an opportunity to ask questions of our founders and board members. I'm going to take a moment and check the chat and Q&A and see if anything has come up so far. I'll pause here for one moment. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, folks will be here for a little bit longer, so as questions come up, please feel free to utilize the Q&A at the bottom of your screen or the chat to ask questions. Next, we want to talk about a little bit about the NACHW board committees and projects. As a little bit of a primer, we've already given some shout outs to our fantastic board, but really want to acknowledge their fantastic leadership, as well as the diversity of thought and coming from different places across the country and bringing in perspectives of different CHWs and different allies. One of the very important functions that our board does for our organization is they run committees. We have 6 different committees within NACHW that the board runs, as well as with additional board members from our general membership. This includes our policy committee, nominations committee, executive committee, development committee, workforce development committee, and finally our ambassadors committee. One of the things that we wanted to highlight during this webinar is we do have a new opportunity for folks to come and possibly join our ambassador committee and get further involved with NACHW. And with that, I would love to invite 2 of our board members, Lagos and Iris Reano, onto the mic to talk a little bit about the ambassador committee and how folks can get involved.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Louise. Take it away.
This is a great moment to be celebrating what a milestone to be celebrating 5 years as NACHW. I am Luis Lagos and I am a board member. And how I started this role as a board member is because I became an ambassador back in 2019. And I remember when Lisa Renee, and I think she's here, where she invited me and others to apply. There was an open invitation. And at that time, I was living in the state of Idaho. It was a moment for me challenging because I had to collect a lot of documents and in addition to gather the strength and to apply for this position. So I was accepted and I was onboarded during the Unity Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada back in April of 2019. That's how I started my journey here as a board member. Later on, I applied for the board position and I was selected, and I am very humbled to be serving since 2022. Why I mention my story here, because I want to encourage everyone to, if you know someone, if you know a community health worker, a promoter, a community health representative out there in the community who is great, who is a great leader, who represents a minority, please let them know that the opportunity to become a national ambassador for NACHW is open until May 15. And we will post more information in the chat. But basically, how you can make a difference is, number 1, you will be driving membership for NACHW. Number 2, you will be a nationally organization, a national organization who's represented by a lot of great leaders in the community. Join us and make a difference. And in addition, how we are encouraging you to apply, we want to include more Asian Pacific Islanders, more Alaska Native American, more Native American, more African American in our ambassador. Currently, our program only has 12 ambassadors, but we are trying to expand to 32 members. So we are recruiting for 20 members. And I want to take this opportunity to invite every one of you to share the link and to share this opportunity in how to become an ambassador, because this is a pipeline for leadership, and this is a pipeline for the future of our organization, the National Association of Community Health Workers. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Louise. I also want to give a huge shout out to our current ambassadors. I know several of them are on the call today, supporting as they always are. So we thank you for everything you've done, particularly at last year's Unity Conference. So thank you so much. And thank you to the leadership of our co-chairs, Louise and Iris, for helping to shape this community and spearhead bringing on additional leaders. Before we wrap up this section, I also would like to hand it over to my colleague, Michaela Trujillo, who is our Leadership Development Manager, to talk a little bit about her program around Johnson & Johnson and building leadership for CHWs.
Hi, thanks, Aurora. I just want to say hi to all of our friends and family on the call today. I see Rosa. It's so good to see you. Look at her. She's multitasking over there. Chauncey, I've heard a lot about you. It's good to see you on camera. Thank you all for being with us. In the last 4 years, NACHW has been honored to be partnered with Johnson & Johnson in the Advanced CHW program. This program was developed as a cohort of CHWs with different backgrounds, cultures, unique specialties across the US to come together and brainstorm, build trust for a national drive of leadership. This has evolved over 4 years. We started with the first year, I feel like was really healing from our past oppression and things from our workforce. From there, we really went into understanding each other, our neighbors, our promotoras, CHRs, our workforce during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. We did this through cultivating and driving, analyzing, disseminating an all CHW-driven survey over the workforce. We are proud to finally have a hard final copy of this to be presented to you soon. I encourage you to take this instrument and tool as a model of where to begin surveying CHWs authentically. This is research that is done by us, for us, to improve our workforce, and use it to amplify your community and research driven by CHWs for CHWs. After that, we have created a pilot program which directly invested into CHWs such as Rosa to become CEOs of their own pilot programs in their communities based on social determinants of health that they are frontline experts on. And we had great success. We had used the multiplier effect to reach 100. I think Allison, what was our total last year? Like 10,000 people. Amazing numbers in the ripple effect. Higher, she said. More. I'm being humbled. And so this year our focus is really how do we use the multiplier effect to really directly affect in you all as members. So I would encourage you to be on the lookout through newsletter, website, and other social media posts for our online Leadership Advancement Academy. I want to shout out to Michael, who's on the call with us, who helped me dub the name. And we are working to help you guys have a tangible piece of evidence to demonstrate to your supervisors, coworkers, etc., that you have taken direct investment in yourself through hard and soft skills and knowledge of the leadership from the inside out, from the corazón. So that is where we are. We're looking forward to the future of leadership and NACHW in the coming years with Johnson & Johnson. And again, thank you all for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Michaela. So again, if folks want to learn more about that, please get involved and visit some of those links that folks are throwing in the chat. Oops. Pardon me. next we are going to hear a little bit about some new reports that we have to share with you about what NACHW has been doing for the last few years, and what we hope to do in the next few with our strategic planning document. And next, I would like to introduce another one of my colleagues, Bernadine Jeranyama, who is going to share a little bit about an upcoming report to talk about some of our biggest accomplishments in 2023. So I'll hand it over to you now, Bernadine. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bernadine Jeranyama, and I'm NACHW's Associate Director of Communications. It's so wonderful being here with you all today, celebrating the last 5 years, which feel like they've flown by, to be honest. In the 5 years since NACHW's launch, we've seen a lot of challenges for the CHW workforce, like the pandemic, a lot of social unrest, but we've also seen a lot of positive movement, like recognition of CHWs at the federal level in COVID relief efforts, and a lot of advocacy at the state and federal level. So in recognition of all of this work, we're getting ready to publish our first ever annual report. It's 5 years in the making, so it's 5 annuals. But it's for all of our members and our partners, those who know us and those who don't yet know us. And it's really meant to showcase our impact, show appreciation, be transparent, and highlight the real work of CHWs who are really just doing it across the country. So get ready for that. It's coming soon. So it'll include some great things like the history, some of the things that our founders have talked about today. And it'll also show us some recaps of our membership and some really great stories. So yeah, that's coming soon. So keep an eye out on the newsletter, our social media for all of that information.
Thank you so much, Bernadine. That'll be another link that'll be emailed out to folks once it is available. We have one more document to share and highlight for folks today, and that is NACHW's new strategic plan. I want to give another thank you to our founders, our board, some of our ambassadors, and some of Michaela's J&J leaders for all coming together and giving the team so much feedback that went into developing this plan. What sort of came out of this plan was several different priority areas, ranging from training, professional development, policy and advocacy, professionalization and unification of the workforce, focusing on our CHW networks, as well as racial and health equity, along with organizational sustainability. This plan is now up on our website under our About page, and we hope that folks have a chance to take a look. It talks a little bit about how we developed this plan, and a little bit about some ways that folks can already get involved in some of the amazing policy work and advocacy work our team is doing, some ways our members can get involved, and other opportunities for the next year. I want to give a huge shout out to our executive director, Denise Smith, who unfortunately can't be here today because she's off talking to another group of amazing community health workers, but has really, this has really been a labor of love for her to help sort of focus the organization and hopefully have some great new progress over the next several years. So again, we'll be sharing this out. We hope folks will have a chance to take a look. And let us know how that is going for them. I want to take a moment again to pause and see if folks have questions. We know we've shared a lot here today, and we want to make sure for the folks on the call, if anything that we've talked about is interesting to you, that we have an opportunity to hear from you. Again, feel free to raise your hand. Put questions in the chat or use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. And I see we have a question from Rosa in the chat that asks, do you currently have an ambassador in Connecticut? Let's see if Michaela or Louise, do you know off the top of your head?
Louise, you're unmuted.
We currently don't have an ambassador in Connecticut. We used to have one of the 20 original found ambassadors that I remember of, but no longer we have one. Yes.
Thank you, Louise. So Rosa or anyone else on the call, that along with many other states would certainly be a state we might be looking for. I also see Sophia asked in the chat, will the presentation be shared? That is yes, absolutely. We will be sharing this out along with many of the other links so that folks have a real chance to sort of dive in and see what else folks might be interested in. Let's see, any other questions so far? Thank you, Jennifer. I see Jennifer posted in the chat that she's interested in being an ambassador in Wisconsin. Thank you. We love to hear that. Okay. If we, okay. Do you know what is great? We just finally got Denise Smith on the line. Denise is out traveling, but has just been able to hop on to join us. Denise, I'll let you know, I briefly shared the strategic plan, but I want to invite you on to come welcome folks, celebrate our 5 years, and anything else you want to highlight here on the webinar.
Hi, everyone. I am in a hotel lobby at the moment. I have just touched down in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to be kind to my neighbors, and I'm not going to speak out loud for too long. And also, I'm just going to take a moment and say thank you to the founders. I see Geoff and Gail. I know Wandy was on. I'm going to scroll around and see who else might be present. I want to say what's up to all of our current board members. I see Luis. I know Ben is with us. I see Iris with us. And I know Lillie and perhaps others are either joining or they had a chance to record videos. I see some of the representatives, CHWs who came with us to Washington, D.C. in March. I see Chauncey. I see staff members, Allison, Aurora, Michaela. I want to say hello to each and every one of you. First of all, I pray that all is well with you and your family and your community. It is still COVID out here. And I've noticed a lot of people not wearing masks as I come through the airports. I know communities are still struggling to come back stronger than ever. So I hope everything is well. I also want to say this is an incredible moment for our movement. 5 years. I can tell you that I am in the birthplace here in Little Rock of one of our founders, Naomi Cottoms. And I want to make sure that I take a moment and say, first of all, I'm so honored to be here, the home of the Little Rock 9. I'm so honored to be here in this place where Naomi founded the Tri-County Health organization and also the Arkansas CHW Association. Were it not for our founder, Naomi Cottoms, I literally would never have become the inaugural executive director. Were it not for the founders coming together with Naomi for many, many years of planning and organizing, we would not be here together celebrating 5 years. Our history, our struggle, our successes, our unity, our organizing, our consensus building, our advocacy, it all matters. And so I want to take a moment and just say for each of you, I see 5 pages of people on this Zoom call. What you're doing at home matters. Even if people don't know, even if your governor hasn't acknowledged you yet, even if your state senators are not celebrating you, it matters what you're doing. Because of what you're doing, NACHW gets to tell your story. We get to say you're our member. We get to say you're our partner. And I want to thank you for trusting us over the last 5 years as we have grown, learned, tripped, run into COVID, right? Through COVID, and now into the shift from a moment to the movement for sustainability, health, equity, and social justice. I'm sure that staff and all of the speakers have said many things that I could never say, and they probably said it better than I. So can I just say thank you for the last 5 years? Thank you for trusting us. And would you join us for the next 5 years? You, CHW leader of an association or network or alliance or coalition, would you join our committees? Would you help us make our policy statements better? Would you help us make our organization more diverse? Would you bring your lived experience to shape the next 5 years of our organization? This organization is in all 50 states, many tribes and territories, island communities. We are also global. We have members in Kenya, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Liberia, and many other places. But without you, we won't be diverse, right? Centered in community, right? We won't have racial equity and social justice. We won't be able to say that we are reflective of all of our profession, CHWs, promotores, community health representatives, peers, outreach workers, doulas, right? It takes each and every one of you. So I want to thank all of you for leaning into today. I hope you've had a chance to celebrate and hear something about our future, the strategic plan, the highlights of the last 5 years of our annual report. It's because of each and every one of you. So I just want to again say thank you to each of you. I'm honored to be just a regular CHW who was called forward into this movement. Such love to the founders once again. Thank you for calling us all together. I said it in Washington State, and I'll end with this. For each and every one of you as founders, it was almost prophetic that you would create an organization after so many years, primed and ready for the global COVID-19 pandemic, and to create a space for voices of CHWs across the nation. I know we have impacted national policy. I know that we have come together and celebrated one another and supported one another through this pandemic, and will continue to do so. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Love to all of your communities, honestly, and big shout out to this incredible, incredible staff. I can't see all of you, but I love you. I trust you. You're doing amazing, amazing things in community and with our members. And I can't wait to continue to work alongside of you. So thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank you so much, Denise. People are blowing up the chat and love getting this opportunity to hear each other. So we appreciate it. We haven't had a ton of questions today, which is great. We'll hope that means that we're being very clear in our communication. But we have a couple more opportunities to share with you, and then it looks like we'll have a nice chunk of time to do networking and break out with some breakout rooms, and hopefully have time for folks to meet one another. Before we do that, I do want to echo Denise's sentiment, is that we do want to invite you to join us if you haven't already. The more members that we can bring together, the stronger we really are. We are also unveiling new membership benefits pretty much month by month right now. We have really expanded our monthly members only newsletter, which now includes stories from our membership. Our great team member, Allison, is now collecting articles and research by community health workers to share out. We do members only webinars. We're sharing out resources, doing certificates of attendance. Applying to be a NACHW ambassador is one of those benefits, and so much more. Please feel free to come to our members event in the next couple of weeks on May 8th, where we're going to be talking all about member benefits and how to use our dedicated space member clicks, which is where we store a lot of our membership benefits. Another huge membership benefit that I wanted to highlight for you all today is our upcoming 2024 annual meeting and Unity Conference. This year, we will be holding a virtual conference as we wrap up to a huge in-person conference in 2025. So Wednesday, August 21st, we will have our annual business meeting. This is for our members to come and hear again from Denise and our treasurer and from our wonderful board president, Lillie Fox, and hear about the work that we had done in the past year, as well as vote in our new board members. And then we will be having a one-day Unity conference, which will be free for our members Thursday, August 22nd. We recently released the save the date. Coming up in the next few weeks, we hope to release registration so folks can get that on their calendars. But we hope this will be another great opportunity for folks to meet one another, hear what is going on across the country, and get to be together, as well as hopefully have our save the date for our Unity Conference in 2025. And again, we want to make sure that you are hearing about our opportunities and also what's going on around the country. Please feel free to sign up for our free newsletter at the bottom of NACHW.org, as well as follow us on social media as we uplift the work we do, but also the work that CHWs do across the country. And also feel free to reach out to us. We really want to be able to have meaningful partnership with each and every one of you. As Denise is doing right now, or as I did yesterday, we want to come speak and be at your events and be in person. Please feel free to reach out to us to see if we can come, give you all some swag and meet you in person, and also partner with you, see how we can be sharing out your events, your information, all the great resources you're doing through our network. Or maybe you want to sponsor us for the Unity Conference, or maybe you want to work with us on policy. There are many, many ways to get involved, and we want to make sure that each and every one of you know about each of these different ways. I'm going to pause again here to see if we have any questions from the great over 100 folks here on the call today. I see folks are still asking about the ambassador position, which I'm thrilled to see. Michaela has been posting that link in the chat. You can also find it on our website. And again, all these slides, links are going to be emailed right to you after the webinar. So don't feel like you need to keep track of them right now. Let's see. I'm going to pause here again. Feel free to raise your hand if you have a question. If not, then I think we're going to use the nice chunk of time we have left together to break out into breakout rooms. We've gotten really good feedback in the past of having folks have time to meet one another. I'm also so thrilled that so many of our board members and ambassadors are going to be here to help facilitate conversation and get to meet some of our members. Let's see. There we go. I am going to open up our breakout rooms for whoever would like to come and meet folks and exchange. We'll probably stay in each of the rooms for, let's see, 20 minutes. I'll check in on some of our staff to see how it's going. In the meantime, if you still have questions, feel free to message me or another one of our staff members. We're here to serve you. And right at the end, we'll come back together right before 4:30 Eastern. I will share out some final links as well as our evaluation survey. But for now, please go into the breakout rooms. There we go. Open, and we will see you shortly. Thank you so much.